So we have
So,
seen that we have something useful for everyone, right? Everybody is not on the same boat. We some are at a advantageous stage or better stage, and we are able to get good benefits out of whatever situation is there, and some are struggling and learning how to get out of this and swimming through. So coming to the next question, what do you think a motivated student is looking for in this kind of scenario? Right, the student is self-motivated. Yes, the scenario is such that the state exams have been cancelled, and I bet in India this is what has happened, right? Aparna, you have to tell me whether this is
in
correct or not.
India, we are still
The
waiting
grades
for
were given
CBSE.
away. They were not given any tests.
Yeah, we are waiting.
Yeah. So anyways, I bet the learning is the ultimate goal. What do you think a motivated student is looking for according to you?
Is it my turn?
Anybody? Aparna, go ahead.
Yeah, okay. Right now, I feel that what a motivating student is looking for is a very positive attitude. If you have that, okay, now in this particular situation, also how learning is becoming more interesting, and what are the new ways that we can learn through. Right. First, I was agreeing with the point which was being discussed before, that one-to-one contact is not there. Like the teacher are not sitting in the classroom, and children feel that the shy students who are not able to ask their questions in a classroom in front of others can now ask a question to the teacher, because the teacher is can personally one-to-one class can be taken. That is what is happening, that many of our children, see, we have special children also in the classes, right? And now it's becoming very difficult. They can't be taught with everybody, right? In inclusive education, we have every child sitting in the classroom and teachers are teaching them, but now it's very difficult. So these children who need special guidance from the teacher, so teachers are taking out time and giving one-to-one sessions to them. So children are opening up more. And a motivating child, what is motivating for a child who wants to learn is this, that this itself is a big learning, that they have become very tech savvy, and they're doing new experiments. And now the entire lab has come on, virtual lab is there, and 3D thing is also coming up. Like we have a VITF lab which we had, right? And now this also will play a very important role in our life after this COVID-19 situation gets okay. We are back to school. Then also this online education is going to play a very important role in education now. And we are definitely going to make use of it further also, whether the children are in the classroom and sitting at home, whether wherever they are, we can always use it further. That is a very good point that I think that is going to motivate children a lot. And and there's a lot of difference in learning, and children have become more of self-reliant now. There is something called self-study which has come up.
Fun aspect is definitely encouraging and motivating, right? Though they are science savvy and also science geeks, right? They are looking a little bit of fun. Fun, I think, motivates many students, and when they're able to enjoy what they're doing, which they already like, I think that is even more motivating. That I agree,
Definitely,
Aparna. Yogesh,
definitely,
you wanted to add
100%.
something?
Pandemic and these online sessions, that we are really very adaptive. Our students are really, really very adaptive. They adapted so quickly that putting the recordings over there and then going through the recordings again and again. This has really helped my student. One of my students scored like 96% in a very difficult exam. Nalini, you might be knowing, like the lecture exam 2, which is like microbiology plus biology, right? Cell respiration. My students scored a lot of those 90 plus, and it was an honor lock exam. They cannot do any cheating there. And I asked some of the students, I said, how did they get it? He said, oh, I worked in a hospital night shift, and then I hear your recordings again and again, again and again. This is what I do.
Yeah.
So I felt, oh, that's the positive aspect of this online learning now. Previously, I never used to record, never any those recording.
I think adaptation is in our DNA,
Yeah.
And we have rapidly ramped up the evolution right now by adapting more and more according to the situation. Anybody else?
I agree with Aparna, definitely. If you take my kid, like my little one, who is like very motivated, he wants to go through the videos, which is like YouTube, which is very helpful right now, because like if he wants to search for a concept, he doesn't really have to go and sit in a library to read anything. All you need to do is like just jump onto the YouTube. You'll have millions of videos right from the scratch to the advanced concepts on that particular topic, I would say. Yeah, for a motivated student, I think this is a right time. He might have got like ample of time where he can really make use of it.
Yeah.
And also the other side of it, like as we have like both the coins, the other side of it, who really doesn't want to do anything, like they have a nice time to play the game. So as a mom, I would see like both the ends. So yeah, for a motivated student, I think one-on-one help, as well as the YouTube and all other educational sites are helping a lot.
To all those listeners and our friends, this is my request. Being teachers, most of us here being teachers, request to your parent, you have kids who are taking online classes, please encourage them to take those Zoom online optional sessions. If they are not coming and taking advantage and asking us questions one-on-one or on the screen, if they are not meeting us online, then there is nothing much we can do. It will be always one way, and it's passive. When it is one way, it is totally passive. And when it is on Zoom, we both are on the we both are online, then we can completely interact on this platform. Yes, we cannot gauge the psychology, and we cannot do anything hands-on probably, but then there is so much that we can do if we are able to meet each other at least on the screen. Please do not avoid those optional Zoom sessions or video sessions.
Just saying that make yourself available for those students, and they are definitely going to motivate those students. So like as Aparna said, as Usha also mentioned it, like on one-on-one will help some students, not all, but yes, for that student you should be available. A teacher should be available for that particular student who is very shy and not having that confidence.
I just want to add, I think the two situations, the classroom situation and this situation where the child has to more or less do everything alone, the definition of motivation has to change. I think will change. In the classroom, the the motivation is, you see a lot of excited students. They're raising their hands, they're talking, and everything, everything. But here the scenario is different. So you have to judge the motivation of the person, because I mean he cannot talk to anybody, so you'll not see the child smiling and doing everything. That happens in a context setting. That happens in a classroom. So here the motivated student would be slightly different. They would be on their own. They'll be walking, talking, reading, closing the doors and all that. And they will want to be left alone. Yeah, if you leave them alone, I think, and trust God. that they,
True. We should.
trust God. I think they will be on the right track. That's what we need to learn, because we give our students to the school, and it is just like handing over to the right people so that they'll take care of the child. But now here you have to leave them alone, and with all the all the gadgets and everything they are already there with them. The books are there, and I'm sure this is the right time when they will find something which they have been missing over the years, and they will need to catch up on that. Sometimes that catch up thing can be your some old episodes, or of documentaries or whatever which they might have missed, but they will come on track sooner or later.
Is something which students will be really excited to do something extraordinary. And I feel many of my students are really motivated, but when I see the students grades are not coming up to the level, then I send them email and I asked he or she student that I want to have a Zoom meeting with you at their available time, because Nalini, as you know, our most of the students are working, right? They're working in some hospital or they work in grocery stores or something, so their timings are very, very odd. I tell them, I say, okay, tell me what time you will be available. So I set up that time, and that is how I do the Zoom meeting with them 1:1. Maybe like 15-20 minutes is also enough. Go through the lecture exam, tell them what they were supposed to be learning from there. I told you some important tips in the class or in the recordings, so you have to pay attention to those things.
I would like to talk about one of my student, Rio. And Rio is a special child, right? And by this I mean that though he's growing up, but his brain is 5 years behind his age, and that growing process has this thing. So he's sitting in a classroom of grade 4 children, but he's very tall and at least 4 years older, 4 years older than all of them, most of them there. So this child was this thing. So we started with a shadow teacher, but I have to give credit to the mother also. She would be there every day just to drop the child and sit there and wait for him and then take him back. In some time only, he was in grade 4, and the child was so well looked after and so well motivated by the teachers and the parents together. And we were so involved with him and gave so much of attention, and I saw miraculous changes in him. And in 1 year he got 2 promotions, and slowly, like within 3 years, he was at par with the other children, and sitting sitting in a classroom which has got children of his own age, and rightfully the class where he should be according to his age in India. And he went till there, and then he had these children mostly are very gifted. This is what I know, and I don't know, there is something between them and the technology. Most, I think 99% of the special children that I have dealt with and I'm still dealing with, we still have 50 such children in our class, in a school where we have some 3,000 children. So still I find that these children are very tech savvy, and they learn so soon through systems, and technology is a big help to them in learning. And not only this, I found in this boy that he learned everything so quickly and so motivated, because right guidance has really pushed. It was a real good push that he was getting in the right direction. And not only that he was doing his academics well. He was so gifted that he is the best drum player in the school, and he goes he's with the school band, and he plays the drums for the school band, and it's in such a young age, where the band has got other children who are there from grades 9 to 12, the senior ones. We have somebody from grade 7 who plays drums for the school, and he's a special child. So this is what I feel is these are some examples which make you live through with teaching, and you feel very proud of your profession, that it is giving you a chance to see life in this way. Life getting evolved, and children getting. I think teachers are the changers, the life changers in the. Remembered Rio when you talked about it. So I think this is what I would like to talk about.
So that's why Aparna, I think in our
It's a
we say-
tremendously inspiring example that I totally agree. Being a teacher, we have that opportunity to impact the life, right? Usha, go.
Right.
So that's what I'm saying. Like I totally agree with Aparna, because that's what even our culture says, right? Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Maheshwara.
Yes.
Like God,
Definitely.
Guru is nothing but the God who molds the kid. Basically, in previous days, we used to send the kid to the Gurukulam, and kid used to be there till he finishes his education and come back. So similarly, it all depends on how your teacher will be. So if you consider us, we live according to the school rating, right?
Yes.
very bad school rating, if you get a very good teacher,
Mhm.
it will be a different aspect. It doesn't compare with the teacher, like, even the curriculum is same. It depends on how the teacher teaches. It's very
Definitely.
from each and every teacher.
How
And
involved you get. It's about that.
so, so it's all depends on the teacher. I totally agree. One of my friends' son, who is a special kid, like he came second. He's just like 8 years old right now, and he came second in Carnatic music competition in northeastern region here. Can you? Yeah, he's so good in music. He doesn't look at the lyrics. He doesn't. He just listens and, like, he catches it and, like, he moves on.
Wow. That's wow.
Whether it's Western music or classical Indian music or anything, any kind of music, he just loves the music. That's it. So, all helping a lot, as well as the teachers too. But he does really amazing. So, music motivates him a lot.
Yeah, I agree that teacher is almost like a second parent. And I am very impressed, Aparna, with you, how you motivated that special kid. Yeah, yeah, really. I have a friend in India who had a special child, and that brought memory to my when we were thinking about that case.
See, in India, the situation is different.
Yeah.
You know, we Indians, the way we think, we want everything in a hurry. We want it right now. I want it now.
Yes.
Instant
And
gratification.
now this instant gratification thing is so ingrained in our,
Blood.
life and all that, that we expect everything, even from kids or children. We expect everything, and this happens with me also.
It's
And
all fault of Maggie noodles, I'm telling you.
it's like the 2 minutes. So at the end of the day, this is stressed out and this is burning out our teachers. If this pressure has, people have, parents have actually passed on that pressure to teachers, and teachers are in that, every day, grind. They are pushing the children. They are, expecting results and everything. But I think we need to slow down and relax.
Definitely.
Those who have to reach somewhere, they will reach there. I mean, it's not going to happen that somebody is not going to reach there. And or some to my daughter's PTM. I've been going to my daughter's PTM, and I've never had this opportunity to ask something. I've just listened to the teachers and never questioned them, just to ease the pressure. Because I mean, there are parents who are every day, when they go to the child more, you know,
Independent.
self-learn,
Self-independent.
self-learning, and the parent should involve. This is the ideal scenario, but let's see how it goes.
Yogesh ji, I got an idea from what you said that children are being pressed or pushed by parents. So I think time has come that we start a school for parents.
Absolutely.
Here, here the situation is totally opposite, as I am a high school teacher, and parents are not involved anywhere. They will just look at they are involved only till the progress book comes out. Like, they just want to see the grades. Why my kid is not? No, what they are doing for them is not relevant at all. Now they are with teachers, they are learning, but what are they doing? What parents are doing to motivate? Like, what are they doing? I'm not talking about Indian parents here also, because we are Indians and we will always do that. But here, they don't, and it is not their fault also, because they are working most of the time. Some of the parents I have known, they don't see their child like in 24 hours. So when the child is there, because they are working too, so child is working, maybe the parent at that time is at home. When child is at home, maybe the parent is working. So for them, it is just us in between, the teachers are in between to help both. We have to maintain that balance too.
Yeah.
That's what I have experienced that.
So it's like both corners, both extremes, right? Some parents are too pushy, asking the child to do well, do more, be that, and all that. And on the other
Right.
side, parents are not actually involved at all because they think that they're doing way too much. They don't need to meddle at all.
Yeah.
So I think that I need to start a survey asking parents, what are you doing? If you're doing these two, then come. I've started a new school for you.
I have a question. As per the discussion, like parents, there are two types, like whether they take care or they do not. So when you're a kid to certain high school or something, I don't think, do you think like they'll allow you to like question them or like, sit and talk to them? No, even in like, soft manner. I'm not saying like, go and question them like, what are you doing today? What is so even in a soft, do you think like they'll come and talk to you? I'm not sure because my kid is just a junior. Uh, so do they really? Yeah.
Especially you're so right, Usha. I'm glad you brought it up because otherwise I totally forgot. As soon as they start to become teenage, that the teenager mindset sets in, that a change, they feel like to be left alone. Have you heard this? This is very common. That's a very common change. That's a natural instinct. They like to be left alone. If you ask for grades, they're not liking it. And sometimes I tell my daughter, hey, you're an adult. She says, no, I'm still a teenager. And when I say you're a teenager, she says, no, I'm an adult. So I'm totally confused what to say.
Normal, absolutely normal.
So, but I'll tell you another scenario. When if the kid is getting straight A's, let's say, if you go and say like, why are you watching so much time? Like, do you watch? I'm getting straight. How does it really matter what I'm watching, how long I'm watching? What do you say?
Yeah. What do you
Right?
think, Aparna, Alka, Uma? Very good.
We
See,
That is real question, right? We are not trying to sugarcoat and buff it up or anything. We want the real truth instead of talking one on one with a close friend. We are talking here. Let other people know that these are all the things that really go on. What do you
right.
think?
uh, if I'll speak about the same thing happens like when you tell them that you are teenagers, they want to be adult, and when you tell them that you are an adult, then they're babies suddenly. A teenager bhi nahi, then they become babies, right? So that is a very common, that's a very normal thing with the children. And yes, this generation is very different. And see, when we were of this age and we were children, so we couldn't have ever questioned our parents for anything. That was the generation that we were. So if children are changing in this generation, you find this change in that you find it difficult to question them. I think it is we who have trained them like that. Let's face it, right? Let's face it. How did they become like that? So naturally, I will definitely say that that it depends on parents also. It is we who have become very friendly with the children, and we thought that this is a new age, and I feel very good that I'm my children's best friend. But we forget that there's a thin line. Okay, we can be best friends, but we have to maintain that particular distance also, which is needed, that you can question them. So what is happening, that this confusion, children are also confused now and parents are also confused. When parents want, they become very friendly and we are best of friends and everything. When they want, they suddenly realize no, they are the parents and the children have to listen to them. So children are children, right? Children don't expect them to change their mentality so soon. That 1 second you are being very friendly, right? Okay, come on, let's sit together and play together and we'll eat together. I know there are 100 things, going to movies together, uh, talking on any topic like you talk to your friends, and then suddenly you feel that okay, no, I'm a parent and you shouldn't be watching this so long. You should not be sitting in front of the TV. What are you watching? I want to know. And children these days are very different. You cannot. They will come up with a different question about that. Why don't you trust me? Why can't I watch what I'm watching? If you should know that I won't be the rebel. So I think it's the too much of exposure, yes, and too much of technology that is coming in the world. See, this all has come in these last 40-50 years. All the changes are coming in the world, right? Too fast the changes are coming. This century has changed very quickly, right? The changes are very quick, And in these changes, so parents are also actually learners, right? We are also adapting to the changes, and the children are also adapting to the changes. It's happening together. So when this thing is happening together, and so this particular thin line is crossed many times when we forget about being a friend, and we suddenly become very this thing strict parents, and suddenly we become friendly parents. So it's not easy for parents also, very difficult for them, and for children also. I think we should just try and in a spur of the moment, whatever happens, we should use our experience and do the best that we can. I really feel that it's very important. I somehow feel that if the children are becoming something, we are somewhere also a part of it. We have made them what they are. So now when they suddenly
I would like to have two kids who is 25 and 23 years old. I definitely think today's kids are much more mature as compared to what I was at that age. They have
yes,
very good
100%.
financial goals, they have very good career goals. And when I think back when I was 23 or 25, I feel that, oh my God, they are much, much more
Nothing,
mature than me. Yeah. Yeah. I feel, oh
anything.
my God, you guys are good, good.
I think that is why, because they have so much of exposure to this world. And like if you take a 10-year-old 10th grade student, if you ask, because I came across my own niece, so I asked her, like, what are you going to do after 10? She said, naturally, I'm going to take MPC and then go ahead and do software engineer. Right now, my lifespan itself has come down to 60 years most of the time. And within that 60 years, why do I really want to do medicine and do like study up to I'm 30-year-old and get a job and then go and really work on it? I don't have so much time to enjoy in my life. So let me just go through a fast track and be a software engineer who can soon, like, by 22, I can get onto a MNC and start earning. So see, at 10-year-old, 11, when a 10th grader, like, we didn't had so much of, at that time we were only looking at what passion we had, what subject like we want to like, learn. It was all like, what we wanted to do at that time. Now they have, like, how the world is going to be, and they understand so well how definitely, yes.
Definitely.
Definitely. I was not, when I'm just, if I want to share my experience, I just want to get married and I want to be a homemaker at that point. I was not thinking of any career. I just want to be a happy homemaker. That's what I am, though. I'm still that.
Go
But
ahead.
I never thought about that I can be in
The difference between today's time and our time. And our time, even our parents, they were not bothered where we were all through the day in our holidays.
So true.
You know,
they
uh,
don't want.
we used, I used to go in the morning and show up sometime late in the night. I mean, somewhere 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock. Where I had my food, what I did, nobody used to care. And I used to roam around wherever at that time we were, whether in the village or wherever we are posted. My father was posted, and we used to
Exactly.
roam around and we can't help it because situation has changed. I mean, in
Situation.
those
It's
days,
not a safe
yeah,
world anymore.
it's not a safe world anymore, and we are living in closely guarded,
Also we are micro family, right?
with CCTVs and all that, monitoring every day, under more pressure than what we were, you know.
Clear family.
Uh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah. So I think that we need to loosen up that pressure, find ways to, vent out that pressure, and as long as the child is happy, happy in doing whatever little bit, I'm sure they will take off in the right direction. So that the happiness part needs to be there, and they whenever they're putting an effort, uh, it should not be crushing a burden on them. So ease that pressure, give them some time, play time or whatever, me time, these days they call me time, and then come back to whatever they were doing. So divide it by 10 15 minutes or 20 minutes or half an hour of break,
Yogesh ji, now I know where all those mangoes went. You are the one. Pakde gaye.
I don't know. I don't know.
Would you like to add something?
I'm going to send them message, hey, where are you? Why you did not send me the message? Because I want to know that you are safe,
Yeah.
especially in this pandemic. Yeah, that is what my expectation from them is.